Hello guys. So we are going to learn the max subarray. So the problem statement is find the maximum sum of any contiguous subarray within the given array. Okay, and that could have the negative number and the positive number. So अगर हम लोग देखेंगे इस वाले array में we could have any sub array, right? For example, from 0 to 1 index, this is also subarray. Now another, this is also subarray. Now we can have fourth index to eighth index. This is also subarray. But if we'll try to add this value of this subarray, okay, that will be the maximum. So the condition is we are going to select only those subarray which has which has maximum sum, right? In this case, if we try to add this value, which will be 7 plus 12 plus minus 9 plus 6 plus 4, right? So that is go to 19 minus 9, 10, which will be 20. So 20 is the maximum sum of the subarray. So that will be fourth index to eighth index. Okay, so how we are going to solve this? So let's start from the basic, that is the brute force approach. Okay, in the brute force approach, what we are going to do, we are going to use the two pointer. Okay, one is start pointer, let's say s, okay, which will be from 0 to n minus 1. Okay, we are going to use another pointer, let's say it end pointer, which will start from s to n minus 1, and whatever the value we are going to get within these two indexes from the basically two ranges, we are going to add those value, and after that, let's say we are going to get the value is sum, right? And we are going to just compare this. If this sum is greater than the max sum, then the max sum equal to sum, right? तो बेसिकली हम लोग कर क्या रहे हैं, जो भी हमारा जो सम आ रहा है फॉर दिस सब एरे, उसको कंपेयर कर रहे हैं मैक्स ऑफ सम एरे से. ओके, अगर मैक्स ऑफ सम एरे से बड़ा है सम, तो हम लोग मैक्स सम को अपडेट करने हैं, राइट? तो to add this value, we also need to iterate from S to E, right? From S to E, we need to iterate one by one. So let's iterate using another, that is the third pointer, which will start from S to end, right? तो अगर हम लोग देखें तो हमारे पास तीन लूप बनेंगे, राइट? तीन for loop. The first for loop will be S, which will be 0 to n minus 1, right? Within that for loop, we should have the another for, right? That will be the end, which will be start from s to n minus 1, right? And to iterate within the subarray, we should have the another third pointer. We can say it the key, which will be start from s to end. ओके, यहाँ पे जो भी हमारे पास वैल्यू आएगी, लेट्स से जो वैल्यू है वो सम है, दैट इज इक्वल टू जो पहले के सम है प्लस द एरे ऑफ k, right? Now, after the calculating the sum, we are going to just compare if the max of sum is greater than sum. If that is the case, we are going to just update the max sum equal to sum. That's all. And this max sum is our result. Okay. So let's code this one. We'll use the VS Code, and we are going to use this um, subarray.go file. Okay, so basically we are going to use the golang. Okay, so हमारे पास array है, and we are going to create one function called the brute force max, right? And we are going to provide this array. Let's provide like this. Okay, now let's create one function that is the brute force max that will accept the array of integer. Okay, first we will initialize according to our this algo. We should have this max sum initialized. Okay, so let's say max sum equal to 0. Then we should have this for loop. The first for loop start from s that is 0 to n minus 1, right? So let's start for loop for s equal to 0 to s is less than length of array, right? Now another for that will start from the e that will start from s to length of array. Okay, and another for loop for the iterating within the subarray. Okay, we are saying it the key. Okay, that will start from um, s to e, right? So k should be greater than or equal to e, right? Now we should have the local sum. Let's say sum that should have the array of k, right? Now we should also initialize sum equal to 0. After this for loop, we just need to compare if max of sum is less than the local sum, right? In that case, we are going to say the max of sum equal to sum, right? And let's print this one. So fmt dot print ln and the max sum, right? Let's clear this. Going to just run. So let's see, you can see now you're getting the 20, right? Okay, so अभी हम लोगों ने देखा, so with the help of the brute force we can of course calculate the subarray max sum, but what will be the complexity? So this will be like order of n, right? And this will be order of n. This also will be order of n. So total the time complexity will be the order of n cube, which will be very high, right? Can we do something to reduce this complexity? Okay, so if we'll try to understand, let's try to understand how we could solve I mean reduce the time complexity, right? For example, of course we are going to start from the index 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 and 8. Of course we are going to have a one pointer that will be start pointer and the end pointer, right? And one more pointer that is the k, right? Which will start from s to e. तो somehow अगर हम लोग किसी तरह से इस वाले for loop को reduce कर लें, let's say we do not need a k, okay? Then what will be the complexity? Because we are going to have only two for loop, like one for iterating s is 0 to n minus 1, another is the e which is s to n minus 1. So the complexity would be the 0 of n square, right? But somehow अगर हम लोग कैसे भी solve कर ले इस वाले अनदर पॉइंटर को तो हम एक और फॉर लूप कम कर सकते हैं। कैसे करेंगे? लेट्स स्टार्ट विद द प्रीफिक्स। ओके, इन द प्रीफिक्स in the prefix array, basically this will be an array which will have the sum of the prefix. What do you mean by sum of the prefix? Let's start. Okay, तो अगर इसको देखेंगे, इसका sum of the prefix will be 1, then the sum of the prefix will be 1 minus 11. This 1 minus 11 will be minus 10, right? Then minus 10 plus 3 equal to minus 7. Then minus 7 minus 5 equal to minus 12, right? Minus 12, 7 equal to minus 5, and minus 5, 12 equal to 7, right? 7 minus 9 equal to minus 2, and minus 2 plus 6 equal to minus, sorry, it's 4, and 4 to 4 equal to 8, right? So this will be our the sum of the prefix array, right? So agar let's say we want to calculate the sum between from this index to this index, how we could say it, right? If we try to see the the sum of till here, okay, the sum till here is minus 2, right, which is minus 2. If we remove, right, if we remove the sum till here, right, basically if we remove the sum till here, then this the result will be like let's say remove, because the sum of till here is minus 12. If we just remove this one, what we are going to have? So minus 2 plus 12, which will be 10, right? Okay, so let's see how we did this. So 12 plus 7 will be 19, and minus 9 equal to 10, right? So इसका जो sum आ रहा है उसके prefix of array, right? The prefix of array, let's say we are saying it as a e, okay, and this is our s. So how we are getting this? We are getting as a the prefix of e minus the prefix of s minus 1, right? Basically ये वाला जो s minus 1 है, इस till here whatever the sum we are getting, we are just removing from the sum what we are getting at this e pointer, right? So now अब हमारे पास एल्गोरिथम कैसा होगा? like for ये ऊपर के जो दो लूप हैं वो सेम हो गए. s will be start from 0 to n minus 1, right? And second one e equal to s to n minus 1. The third one is we are not going to use the k pointer, right? तो हम लोग सम कैलकुलेट कर लेंगे. एक सम इक्वल टू array, or I mean prefix of e, right? Prefix of e minus prefix of s minus 1, right? So we can just simply write prefix of e minus prefix of s minus 1, right? And simply can just compare if max of sum is less than sum, then max of sum equal to sum, right? Now this is this this will be our uh, prefix sum algo. Now the question is how we are going to calculate this prefix sum, right? That we can just simply have one for loop that will start from, let's say, I equal to 0 to n minus 1, and we could have one array, data prefix, that will be the prefix of I minus 1 plus the array of, right? And of course this will start from 1 basically, because for the 1, because when we'll start from the 1, prefix will be the 0. Okay, when we'll start from the 0, the prefix will be minus 1. The minus 1 will be like out of the index. Okay, so we could have prior like prefix of 0 equal to array of 0. So we could initialize the prefix this way. Okay, let's code this one. Okay, let's create one more function. We could say prefix sum, and of course we are going to just pass the array. Let's create a function called prefix sum. We will have the array of teaser, initialize the max sum equal to 0, and we should have the prefix array, right? Prefix array equal to the make use of array of teaser of length of array. Okay, like this. Okay, so our prefix of 0, that should be array of 0, right? And we could have one for loop that will start from I to here, and then length of array will start from x1, and the prefix of I equal to prefix of plus array of. Okay, next things you could have this exactly the same like this, just copy paste. Okay, we are just solving this problem, right? So simply remove this one, and we could say that sum will be now the prefix of end minus the prefix of s minus 1, right? And let's just print, we will say the prefix sum. Okay, run. Okay, run this. Okay, so we got some problem because when the prefix e, okay, so e will be s, so 0 minus 0 minus 1. Okay, we need to also handle the case where we are saying if if s equal to 0. Okay, in that case we are just going to say, okay, the sum will be equal to the prefix of 0 or maybe s, right? Yes, else we could have this laser, right? Like this. Okay, let's run this. And yes, so for the prefix sum we are getting the 0. Okay, so let me explain you why we need to use this one. Let's say अगर हम लोग देखेंगे तो e की वैल्यू when it will be 0 because e is starting from s and s is starting from 0. So when e की वैल्यू 0 होगी then यहाँ पे s minus 1. Okay, s की वैल्यू 0 है then minus 1. So prefix array of minus 1 which is like out of the index, right? वो इसलिए हो रहा है because अगर हम लोग यहाँ पे देखेंगे right here we are starting from the 0 to n minus 1, right? I mean 0 to n minus 1. In that case it will be 0 minus 1, or what we could simply say that okay, यहाँ पे एक if ब्लॉक लगाएंगे. If I equal to 0, in that case the sum, we're not here actually, here. If s equal to 0, in that case the sum will be prefix of s. Okay, the prefix of s means prefix of 0. The prefix of 0 is nothing but the array of 0, right? So this is what we are doing here. Okay, so although we have achieved from order of n q to order of n square, राइट, क्योंकि हम लोग यहाँ पे बस दो फॉर लूप यूज कर रहे हैं. एंड ऑफ कोर्स यहाँ पे स्पेस कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी इज नाउ अगेन which will be order of n, right, which is the space complexity. So in the prefix sum we are having space complexity of order of n and the time complexity is order of n square. Can we reduce the time complexity, or can we do something that will enhance the time complexity? Do you have anything, right? So for let's see what we can do. So as if now what we were doing like anyhow we are just storing this value, the sum of the prefix into a array, right? Prefix इसमें हम लोग स्टोर कर रहे थे. And even after storing we are iterating from s to e because we are iterating from uh, s equal to 0 to n minus 1 and e equal to n s to n minus 1, right? That's why we had the complexity is the n square. Somehow if we don't use this pointer, this both pointer, and still we can calculate, right? So what we can do, let's see. For example, what we are trying to do is, let's say we are maintaining one max of sum, right? Let's say initially it's a 0. Okay, and we are starting from I equal to 0, 0, right? And what we are saying कि हम लोग तब तक ऐड करेंगे जब तक उसकी वैल्यू निगेटिव ना हो जाए, राइट? So let's say our local sum, let's say CS or maybe SM equal to SM plus array of I, right? So let's say यहाँ पे CS की वैल्यू हम लोग कैलकुलेट, आई मीन SM की वैल्यू कैलकुलेट करते हैं। यहाँ पे SM की वैल्यू 1 है, राइट? यहाँ पे SM की वैल्यू -10, right? This is the case. We could have something like if our SM is less than 0. Okay, if that is the case, we are going to say no, SM is now 0, right? तो यहाँ पे हम SM की वैल्यू 0 कर देंगे. Now again we iterate the 0 plus 3, 3, right? 3 plus minus 5 minus 2, again this is also negative, right? Less than 0. Again we are saying it's a 0. Now 0 to 7, 7, 7 to 12, 19, 19 to minus 9, 10, 10 to 6, 16, and 16 to 4, 20, right? And every time just you can just simply check if the SM is greater than max of sum. In that case, we are going to say the max sum equal to SM, right? So this is we are going to say, and anyhow, I mean, for your information, this algorithm is, we are say it Cadane algo, right? Okay, let's implement this Cadane algo. Let's start by creating one more function. We'll say it Cadane. Okay, let's create a function, say the Cadane max, that is going to pick up array of integer. We are going to have the max sum, that is 0, print Cadane here. Okay, we are going to have a this the SM, right? SM that should be equal to 0. Okay, and we'll iterate for loop I equal to 0th index to I is less than length of array I plus b, right? So bi, and here first we'll calculate, okay, the SM value equal to SM plus the array of I, right? And we'll check if the SM is less than 0. If that is the case, we are going to say SM equal to 0, right? And here just simply you can just say if uh, SM is greater than max of sum, that case max of sum to SM. Okay, so yes, let's see our algo. If SM is less than 0, if SM is less than 0, then SM equal to 0, and if SM is greater than max of sum, then max sum equal to sum. Yeah, correct. Let's run this. So yeah, the cardinal max we are getting is 0. So guys, that's all about the max sub array problem. I hope you might got the value. Thank you.